Hey players, welcome to PlayasGuide. On today's episode, I'm talking about homebrew games on the NES. For those of you who don't know what a homebrew game is, it's a game programmed and assembled by one person or a small group of fans of the console. It's similar to an indie game. And today, I'm going to be covering 6 different games that I think you should check out if you haven't already heard of them. First up is Battle Kid on the NES. Battle Kid Fortress of Peril by Civac Games was released by Retro USB in 2010. Battle Kid was one of the first NES homebrews to get some mainstream recognition. At the time, there were not a lot of high-quality homebrews that offered the length of gameplay that Battle Kid did. Battle Kid's style of gameplay is most often compared to Mega Man. Although similar, it is not the same. Battle Kid has one-hit deaths, which leave no room for error. The game offers unlimited lives, which can be kept track of in your death count. And it also has a password system so you can pick up and play from various checkpoints reached throughout the game. As you progress through the game, you will be met with boss battles, areas which can only be unlocked by finding keys, and several different upgrades. Although Battle Kid can be brutally difficult, it can be also very addictive to play. So, if you haven't played it, I recommend giving this one a shot. The Incident by Cahan Games is a puzzle game released in 2015, which made its debut at NES-a-thon 2K15 Homebrew Hour.
I've worked on this game every day for months.
Way to push that.
So I could have it ready for this.
Stop it, Dave.
And seeing someone else
I
playing it.
am
The music is done by Zed,
Nice.
or Z, as we call him in the States.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Very, very good music. There's different music for every 10 levels.
The incident takes place during the post-apocalyptic year 2015 in an abandoned warehouse. A box-pushing robot named Sam awakens to find himself trapped deep in the warehouse basement. You control Sam and you must find your way through over 100 box-shoving levels. Some of the levels in the incident can be pretty difficult. Luckily, the game can be saved and has an auto-solve feature, which is useful when you get stuck and want to keep progressing. And if you don't like the levels, you could create your own in the game's level builder. The level builder is easy to use and includes a password system so that you can share your level creations with others. If you like puzzles and shoving box, The Incident is a game you will surely enjoy. Every holiday season, Retro USB releases a new 8-bit Xmas Cart. In 2017, Retro USB released a very special 8-bit Xmas. It included every 8-bit Xmas game released from 2008 to 2016. So I figured if I'm going to cover an 8-bit Xmas on this list, 8-bit Xmas 2017 is the game to cover. And that's not the only thing special about this 8-bit Xmas Cart. This homebrew cartridge has blinking lights and Christmas music to go along. And that's not all. It also has an LCD label that changes cover art to display whichever 8-bit Xmas game you are playing. There's a total of 9 different games that can be played. 8-bit Xmas 2008 was the first 8-bit Xmas which featured the Nintendo Age logo and Christmas music. 8-bit Xmas 2009 featured a 4-player game called Snowball Fight. You could play against friends or the computer. The player who lands the most snowballs on the other players within the time limit wins. 8-bit Xmas 2010's game, you play as Santa in his sleigh delivering presents. The goal is to drop as many presents down chimneys as possible. 8-bit Xmas 2011 features an 8-bit fireplace simulator with Christmas music. It includes a 4-player game similar to Warlords. The goal is to break down your opponent's fireplace until only yours remains. 8-Bit Xmas 2012 offers another 4-player game in the form of a biplane dogfight. The objective here is to take out the other planes as many times as possible. 8-Bit Xmas 2013, this game is Santa's Blaster, a space shooter where the objective is to blast enemies for a high score. 8-Bit Xmas 2014's game is Killer Queen Arcade, a 6-player power pad game. You require 2 power pads, 3 players on each pad. You can also play alone with your controller, but check out how much more fun it is to play with a group. We played this game at NES-a-thon.
Oh shit, I ran too far.
I can't do it.
I'll go for it. I'll go. There you go. Get on the snail. Get on the snail.
Here you go.
got my arm doing now.
Verify my instructions.
You just go left or right.
Get out of here!
I'm a
Who
snail
just
rider.
took my- I'm the
10
snail
and,
rider.
10 and 12 are snail riders.
The title screen on this game will also make you Rob the Robot dance. 8-Bit Xmas 2015's game is 12 Seconds of Christmas, where you have 12 seconds to place a block or reach the end of a level before you die. When you die, you also place a block automatically, which can be stacked upon to help you reach your goal. 8-Bit Xmas 2016 is a pinball game, and you want to get the highest score you possibly can while playing pinball. Action 53 Volume 3 is the 3rd installment in the Action 53 series. It is made up of several different homebrew games that were entered in the 2016 NESDev competition. In 2017, Infinite NES Lives released most of these games on a physical cartridge, which is Action 53 Volume 3. So here's what's on the cart. Dragons, which won first place in the NESDev competition in 2016. This game is a colorful platformer which you play as a cute fire-breathing dragon. Nibs and Dibs is a platformer where you use an air dash to attack enemies and hurdle your way over obstacles to reach the end of each stage. Filthy Kitchen arms you with a fly swatter that functions like a boomerang. Attack flies and other trash as you progress through the kitchen in hopes of cleaning it up. Lalla the Magical is a platformer where you collect items and avoid enemies in a tower in hopes of finding all 8 magical potions. Huzang Na Na is a game where you scroll through levels collecting bugs to pay for a toilet. Flappy Jack has you trying to stack as many pancakes on your plate as possible without missing or dropping any. Jupiter Scope 2 is a space shooter. You play as a rocket destroying asteroids. Karate Kick, a point and kick adventure. Kick as many enemies as you can. The Paths of Bridewall is a top-down adventure which has you fighting enemies, overcoming obstacles, and collecting keys to open chests. Rock, Paper, Scissors is an expansion of Rock, Paper, Scissors. Spacey McRacy, a multiplayer space-age racer. Super Tilt Bros, an NES brawl fighter. Waddles the Duck, you play as a duck waddling your way home. Action 53 Volume 3 has so much content packed into this one cartridge, you have to check it out for yourself. I'm not able to list everything here in this video. Haunted Halloween 85 is a beat-em-up platformer released by Retrotainment Games. The game takes place in Possum Hollow during Halloween 1985, as you probably already guessed. You play as Donnie, who has just woken up after a late night of gaming and has slept in. He must make it to school before the end of the day if he wants to go to the Halloween dance with his girl Tammy. But once he arrives at the school, he learns that evil has taken over his town. The goal here, to beat the living evil out of the town. In order to do so, you're going to have to punch your way through 6 levels and 6 bosses, which are at the end of every level. A classic formula for a great NES game. You start off battling zombies in the high school and work your way through the mall, forest, cornfield, town streets, and finally the graveyard. Along the way you collect serum sodas, which are extra lives, candy corn, which restores your health, turning you a nice fake tan orange, and candy corn bags for a full health restore. Don't eat your candy corn and you take a beating, then you'll become a zombie. This game has great controls, colorful environments. One of my favorite stages is in the mall when you enter the movie theater. It looks so cool. I love what Retrotainment Games has created. Lizard is an NES game released by Infinite Lives. In this game you are a lizard exploring a large open world. In order to reach different sections of the game, you will need to search for other lizards, shed your skin, and take on the skin of another lizard. Each of the 7 lizards in the game have their own unique abilities, which are the lizard of bounce, the lizard of push, the lizard of heat, the lizard of swim, the lizard of surf, and the lizard of stone. The lizard of knowledge is the lizard you start the game with. There are purple heads throughout the lizard world, which will give you a password allowing you to continue progress where you left off the next time you play. Which is important because there are a lot of different areas to explore, including a parallel dark world which can be accessed by entering various doors through the game. Lizard has multiple different boss fights which all have a different outcome, so the game has several different endings. Lots of different homebrew options to check out on the NES. If you'd like to take a look at any of these games or purchase them, I'm going to put links in the description below where you can find them. I do plan to make another homebrew game similar to this because there's so many more homebrews I'd like to cover. There just isn't enough time to pack everything into one video. So if you'd like to see that video, please subscribe. It's free to do so. That's it for now. Later, players.